Hey everyone, this is Riven Blade with a review of AEW Dark for June 15th, 2021. This was a solid episode. There was some good wrestling, good comedy, and good character moments. I think you should go out of your way to watch this episode of Dark if you're ever waffling between, okay, should I watch it? Should I not watch it? Is it just filler? Yes, it's worth watching. I think Excalibur and Taz have some really funny banter throughout. You know, they're my two favorite podcast hosts on a weekly basis. And if you have to make a decision between watching Elevation or watching Dark this week, I would definitely go with Dark. So we start things off with Danny Limelight taking on All Ego Ethan Page. And these guys kind of worked a strong style match. So at one point near the beginning of the match, Limelight hits Ego with a knee to the face from the outside. And then Page just kind of drills him with a forearm. And it looked like it might have been a receipt. I'm probably reading too much into that, but it was one of like 3 or 4 really strong forearms from Page on Limelight in this match. So I really like the way Page kind of has this arrogant, funny personality while also being able to go in the ring. I think he is starting to get over even with the crowd at Daly's place. And you had Danny Limelight doing, some springboard rope moves, kind of looking like Phoenix at times in this match. And he's really doing a great job of getting himself over on Dark and Elevation. But of course, this all ends with the Ego's edge, and there you go. Ethan Page picks up the victory. A very solid match, a good opener, and worth your time to see, especially if you like just hard forearm shots and some good athleticism. Next up, they just basically hype up the return to the road in July. Road Rager, Fighter Fest, nights 1 and 2, Fight for the Fallen. Looking forward to seeing what live crowds look like for AEW now that they're going to get out of Daly's place. So I hope that these places are hungry for some AEW Dynamite now that they've been off the road for so long. Next up, Dante Martin versus Sonny Kiss. And this was really fun. I think Sonny Kiss has come a long way. I think his strikes look a lot more convincing. He's a lot quicker. Before, what was missing for me with Sonny was like a snap to the offense. He looked a little bit too floaty and a little bit too choreographed and not quick enough. Now, I think those areas of his game have been like shored up. And this match against Martin was pretty good. So they start off with some chain wrestling, a lot of like wrenching of arms and breaking out of submission holds and things like this. Of course, Sonny displays the splits, his flexibility. And there's this really cool move that Dante Martin does. He does a springboard off the bottom rope into a missile dropkick. And I'm not sure if he's done this before, but I popped for it because I'd never seen it before, or as far as I can remember, I've never seen it before. So yeah, really cool move from Dante Martin here. Good innovation. And of course, he also looked like Phoenix at times in this match. Kind of like the AEW has several guys now who can do like rope walks and really impressive springboards, like using multiple springboards, not just one. And Martin is one of the best. Like he gets such excellent, amazing height. His vertical is just through the roof, almost quite literally. Surprisingly, Dante Martin actually wins this match. I thought Sonny Kiss had this one in the bag, but Martin does kind of like his over-the-shoulder cutter to finish off the match, and he gets the victory. This was, again, another fun wrestling match. So if you just like, solid meat and potatoes wrestling with some innovation, go out of your way to see this one too. This was good. Next, we have the 2 Point Show preview. So tomorrow, we're going to get more news on the console game. So I'm looking forward to seeing some new screenshots, maybe some character models, just something that shows us, the game is progressing well. Next, Charlotte Renegade versus Nyla Rose. So Charlotte Renegade is the sister of Robin Renegade, who has become a regular on Dark. And again, this is kind of another squash for Nyla as they build her up for her match against Britt. There were, a couple of moves. This wasn't as big of a squash as the one Nyla had on Elevation, but still very decisive victory, 1, 2, 3. And they're doing a good job. She's saying at the end of the match, she looked at the camera, said, "Britt, I'm coming for you," or "That belt is mine." And I think they have to turn her face, although it's really hard with Vicky doing her introduction still. I am definitely on the Vicky shouldn't be with Nyla train. I don't think Vicky adds that much as a manager at this point. Nothing against her really, but just I think Nyla is perfectly capable of getting over on her own and talking and speaking for herself. Next, Shane Mercer and KTB versus Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. This was a lot of fun. It was very beefy. So Shane Mercer in particular was very impressive in this match. KTB also had some really unique, innovative offense. But this was really about Mercer and Stu Grayson showing off like how much power, how much strength they have. At one point, like you can see the height that Mercer gives to Stu Grayson here when Grayson bounces off the ropes, goes into Mercer's arms, and Mercer just kind of throws him up in the air and catches him. And then that kind of goes into a roll-up for Grayson. But the height he was able to get on this was really impressive. And the fact that Mercer was able to just catch him almost effortlessly was really cool. Again, some really stiff strikes in this match. So Grayson with like a really strong knee into Mercer's face there. Mercer just kind of, pressing Evil Uno over his head, walking around. Here he does like a one-handed stalled suplex. So Mercer doing a good job of just getting over his power in this match. I was really impressed by him. And again, KTB as well also had some nice moments. Of course, Evil Uno, he did a swanton off the apron onto the outside. That's always fun to see. And in the end, you had another victim for Stu Grayson's kind of highlight reel of how big of a guy can I get on my shoulders and hit the nightfall with. So yeah, he wins the match with the nightfall in the end, breaking KTB over the knee for the 1-2-3. Very good tag match. I really enjoyed this, and it was a showcase for all involved. Definitely go out of your way to see this one. It was just a heck of a lot of fun. And I know I'm saying, go out of your way to see this one for all three matches so far, but this was a really fun show. This one in particular, I really like this tag match. Next up, Chandler Hopkins versus Wardlow. So this is the guy that Wardlow said he was going to choke out, and he delivered. There was one amazing moment in this match where Wardlow hit like this massive clothesline, but he wound up. Like you can see him winding up here, and then he followed through, and it looked like a video game move almost with the amount of animation that he gave it and the amount of setup that he gave it. So it was really, really nice. And the opponent also, did a flip and everything like that after the clothesline. So that was fun. And in the end, Wardlow chokes out his opponent, and he is getting ready, and he is ready for Jake Hager this Friday in their MMA Rules cage fight. Next up, Dylan McQueen versus Cesar Bononi. So the wingmen come out with Bononi, and they're kind of poking fun at Orange Cassidy. You see Peter Avalon. Peter Avalon was a treasure in this match. I mean, he is so animated. Here they give kind of like the Orange Cassidy thumbs up, and you see he has some clothes that they want to give to Orange Cassidy, which I think is pretty funny. Bononi with a big boot that looked pretty painful in this one, and in the end he hits this over the head slam/suplex to win the match, and he gives Orange Cassidy's thumbs up right before doing it. And there you go. Everybody giving the thumbs down to Orange Cassidy at the end of the match. So I'm kind of looking forward to Bononi versus Cassidy, just based on the build-up that they've done on Elevation and on Dark over the past 2 days. Next up, Jake Tucker versus Frankie Kazarian. So Kazarian comes out with a new look, like all black, all white, and he's kind of got like not even a 5 o'clock shadow. I would say like an 8 o'clock shadow going, and he has brand new music. It sounds like kind of like like early 90s Metallica or maybe late 80s Metallica, which is par for the course and very suitable for Kazarian. I really like this new character for him. I think it gives him something to do, and even though it has a limited shelf life, he can only be the elite hunter for as long as the elite are a thing, or as long as they kind of cause problems for him. But I think it's really good. Another thing he debuted in this match was his finisher, the crossface chicken wing. I've never seen him use this move. If he has, please let me know in the comments if I'm forgetting something. But yeah, he just really just chokes out his opponent incredibly quickly. And this was a fun match and a good little, character moment, a character piece for Kazarian. Check it out just to hear the music, just to see his new look, his new attitude, and his new finisher. So I really like this for Kazarian. Kind of cool that he's still reinventing himself after these many years in the industry. Next, Valentina Rossi versus Kylan King. I really like Kylan King. I didn't like her that much when I first saw her come into AEW, and I saw everywhere online people were saying it's like, oh, Kylan King, she's going to be champion one day, and I didn't get it because I thought she was missing a personality in a way, like she was looking for a character, and I think she's finally found something that works and that pops on screen. Valentina Rossi. What's his name? Taz and Excalibur had a bit of a ball during this match. They talked a lot about Italian food. Rossi has this kind of stereotypical New Jersey Italian character, which I don't know. I'm on the fence about. Like, she does kind of like the hand motions while she's talking, and I don't know. How you feel about that is up to you, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. Anyway, the match was okay. There was two moments, really one dangerous moment when Kylan King was going for a shoulder breaker, and you can kind of see that her leg on the outside was a little bit too far, and she almost spiked, Rossi onto her head. The announcers kind of sold us like, whoa, like it was a close one. So that was lucky that nothing really, bad happened in the end. And then she hits Kingdom's Fall to get the victory, 1-2-3. Kylan King continues to win on Dark, continues to get in reps, and continues just improving. And I do see her as a potential AEW Women's Champion, maybe in, 3 or 4 years down the line. So I really like the depth that AEW is building in their women's division. Next up, we get a quick segment between Alex Marvez, Joey Janela, and Sonny Kiss. So Joey Janela and Alex Marvez talk about, going to kind of a strip club, essentially. Sonny comes in and kind of asks Joey, like, what's been going on? Just tell me what's happening here. And this is a funny skit because Janela blames everything on Marvez. He's like, Alex Marvez, it's Alex. He's a bad influence on me. He's the reason we went to that go-go bar last night. And I found that really funny. And in the end, Sonny says, we're done. So this is the official end of Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. I'm happy with that. I think they can probably do good things separately. Sonny, who keeps improving in the ring. Janela, who is taking... It looks like he's getting into better shape. Not that he was in bad shape before, but he's taking his gym going a lot more seriously these days. And I really like him as kind of like a mid-card indie spot guy. So I think he could do well there as he continues doing that. Next up, Chaos Project versus Gun Club. You need to watch this with the volume up. They just talk to each other throughout the match. They kind of say a lot of really not funny things, but the way they deliver them is really funny. And there's some weirdness near the beginning of this one where Billy Gunn tries dancing with Aubrey and starts trying to stroke her face, and she kind of pushes him away. And Excalibur and Taz go on about how it's like, hey, HR is watching. It was a little bit uncomfortable of like, okay, like a weird kind of sexual harassment gimmick here for Billy Gunn, maybe. I don't think so, but anyway, I thought it was a little strange, a weird call to have that in the match. So you see Luther he says, hey, Colton, suck it, which, Attitude Era callback, whatever. But I thought it was pretty funny because it's Luther and his voice is so high-pitched. Luther just, this is kind of the first time where I've noticed this about Chaos Project, where Luther just kind of punishes his own teammate, uses him as a weapon all the time, even if it hurts him, to hurt the opposition. So here he kind of had Serpentico holding on to Colton Gunn while he did a clothesline that knocked out both of them. So, Yeah, it was pretty good. It was funny. This was kind of like the comedy interlude during Dark today. So I say, if you've watched the first bit of this episode and you get to this one, turn up the volume, just relax and just enjoy the comedy, because especially Taz and Excalibur, they break multiple times during this match. They talk about second generation stars, and I think Taz says, like, I hate him. And he talks about the difficulty of his own kid Hook and everything like this. So it was kind of like a therapy hour for him, according to Excalibur. So this is a fun match for the commentary and for just the wrestlers jawing at each other. So check it out. There's Billy Gunn showing off his power. In the end, he hits the Famouser. 1, 2, 3. It's over. Fun comedy match. Willow Nightingale versus Ty Conti. Conti is just awesome. I love watching her matches. She creates lots of movement in her matches, and she does really well against Willow. Willow shows off her power a bit. Like, she just runs into Tay multiple times during this match. Conti with a big German at one point in the match, which looked impressive. And of course, she has those vicious strikes, which are just really entertaining as a wrestling fan. And she does a submission at one point, the boot to the face twice in the corner, and another boot while Willow is just, getting, excuse me, on her knees, and she finishes it off with the Ty KO. And then Ty ends up dancing with Aubrey, a lot less creepy this time. So I thought that was kind of interesting continuity from the Billy Gunn to Ty Conti, both dancing with Aubrey. Main event, Dark Order. So Colt Cabana, Alan Angels versus the Acclaimed. We had, the Acclaimed come out. Max Caster does his rap. It's not bad. It's kind of entertaining. And there's this sequence near the beginning of the match where Colt picks up Alan Angels, who kicks Caster, and then Five picks up Colt, and he's supposed to kick Bowens, but they're not really close enough, or Angels can't really get him up high enough, but the announce team sells it like it happened. And then Taz goes on, it's like, oh, Colt Cabana's 365 pounds. And this just makes Excalibur cackle in the way that Excalibur cackles when Taz breaks him. So it was fun. The boombox gets involved at one point. Colt kind of gets knocked in the knee, and it looks like Caster and Bowens might pull this one off. There's a hot tag at one point to Angels after Colt has been in the ring for a while. He looks pretty good. But in the end, Colt gets isolated on the outside. Caster hits the elbow drop from the top, and Caster and Bowens win this one. So that's it for AEW Dark this week. Like I said, a very fun, enjoyable episode. It's only an hour and 16 minutes, I believe. So check it out. And yeah, if you have a choice between this and our Elevation, I would watch Dark this week. I think, again, solid wrestling, solid comedy, good character moments, and just all around fun to watch and fun to listen to. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications. Tell your family, tell your friends, share it on Facebook or on Twitter. Do you have Facebook? Do people use Facebook? I don't know. I'm kind of not using Facebook much anymore. Anyway, share the love, guys. Till next time, take it easy. Bye.